Hello. We're talking about my tits.
Most of the time.
Girl on girl on girl.
You would.
Like, stop picking up the fucking hot knife.
Fucking cares?
Right on track.
Ugh.
With a lot of money, I would do great fucking things.
But not in a good way.
Yikes.
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 Yikes. Where's the realness?
Yeah. Everything you want. Immaculate experience.
Back down.
You're getting, like, excited.
I do actually.
We need tequila.
Exactly.
Hello. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Today we are dropping in, well, we've done this before, where we've shared past workshops, and today we're going to share one of our bonus workshops that we did inside of the 30-day visibility challenge, which today marks the final day of the 30-day visibility challenge. And first and foremost, we just want to acknowledge everybody who participated. We had 44 women sign up for this challenge, and it was so beautiful to watch the community form, to see these women show up in their lives, to show up inside of their private community space, and to really take this invitation to be seen in all areas of their life. So we didn't approach the visibility challenge like it's 30 days of being visible on the internet. I did that because that was the challenge I wanted to give myself inside of the challenge. But it wasn't something that was required of everyone. Instead, we took the approach of, well, what does it mean to be visible holistically inside of your life in general? And we're going to take women on a 30-day exploration of that. And these women are so badass. Like, we are blown away. And inside of the challenge, we obviously gave daily invitations and experiments to play with. And then we did bonus workshops. And it was off the fucking chain to see these women not only showing up and listening to the challenge every day and letting it digest and integrate, and then see them out making moves in their life, and some of them sharing and increasing their visibility on social media, or increasing the visibility in their relationships or in their business or in their artistry. It's been so incredible to watch and to support and cheer and champion. And the levels of vulnerability, the levels of transparency, the levels of encouragement that have been happening in the private community space have also been blowing us away. And we are just so honored to know these women and to be in a world where they're being more visible, because they each have medicine and magic that the world needs. And that's ultimately what Club Unhinged is here for. It's for the woman who is in a phase of reinvention, where she's ready to reclaim her authenticity, reclaim her power, and to really drop in and design a life that is powered by magic. Like, we are constantly fucking around and finding out how good it can get. That is our club ethos. And it's not just like good in one area of life. We want your life to be great in every sense of what that means. Your relationship with self, your relationship with money, your relationship with love, your relationship to relationships, your relationship to your sensuality and your sexuality and your vibrant, vital, alive life force. All of it belongs, and all of it matters. And so we are so excited to share this bonus workshop with you today. And we are going to remind you that there are only a few days left to get your applications into the club. We made some obviously big changes this year, and we decided that we were moving to an application only for the club. It's a year-long investment. It's a year-long journey. And the application process just automatically builds more intimacy. It builds more connection. And we are able to really get to know the women who are feeling called to come into the club. And from the written application, we also do an application call. So this is for us to flush it out even more and really make sure it's a fit, because the women in the club are fucking iconic. They are here to do epic shit. And it's a certain frequency, it's a certain vibration, it's a certain way of being that, creates this unhinged ethos. And there's a certain energetic to the club unhinged woman. She takes radical self responsibility. She's playful, she's open, transparent. She feels moved to leave the world better off through her example, through her love, through her relationships, through the work that she does in the world. And oftentimes, what we find with the women who are a really great fit for the club is that they have gotten stuck on some track of convention, or they're stopped at a certain juncture in their life and they're like, it's time for the upgrade. It's time for me 2.0. Like, I'm ready to fucking thrive. I've been grinding, I've been surviving, I want to thrive. And not only do I want that, but I'm deeply committed to doing what it takes to create the conditions in my life, the conditions in my relationships, the conditions in my business or my career, so that I can experience long-term sustainable thriving. And in a way where my magic and my medicine, whatever that is, gets to exist powerfully in the world. And this is why we are so, you're going to hear us hammer on it again and again and again about the reclamation of power, the reclamation of power. Because when we are in right relationship with our power, all things become possible. We stop settling for mediocre shit, whether that's in business and working with clients that were like, oh, this is sucking my fucking soul. Or maybe it's in your relationships and you're with someone who you're just not lit up when you're with them. You can't be your full range self. Or maybe it's your relationship to your health and wellness and your vitality. And you're like, I gotta make a change. Like, I know that I'm meant to feel good and I'm ready to do what it takes. And so the woman who's a fit for the club has that inner knowing. She's been on the path of transformation for a while, and she's got a good amount of self-awareness. She's done work on herself, and now it's time to join that posse, that community of fellow wild horses, and we all get to run free together. We get to upgrade together. We get to cheer and champion and grow and expand into that most vitally alive expression. And that takes something. There's a level of devotion and commitment required for that. And if that is you and you are ready to come through, I want you to head to the show notes, submit your application, and we will schedule an application call in the next couple days. The doors do close for the club on May 2nd. So we start on May 3rd. It's a quick turnaround here. So you've got a few days, but we also have to do the application call. And we're very, very clear we're not skipping those steps. So if you feel called, the time is now to get that application in. And what we love so much about this process is, as you go through the application questions, you're like, oh shit, like I didn't even know that about myself. That's fucking cool. Like, you're going to have breakthroughs just doing the application. And then inevitably when we get on the call with you, there's more magic that happens, and then we turbo crank it when you come into the club. So if that feels good for you, if that feels true for you, we invite you to head to the show notes, submit your application. We'll be in touch. And if you need a little more zing zang today, which I hope you do, I hope you stick around, enjoy this bonus workshop that we did on power, money, and magic. And both of us will be back next week for another episode in season 2. Love you, friends, and we will talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Meow. Meow, meow.
Hello.
Let's throw those videos on, ladies. We want to see your beautiful faces. Our visibility challenge. Let's be real.
You don't care if you're wearing pajamas? If you're naked, you do you.
Nice to see you all. Yes, happy new moon in Taurus. Meow. It's time to get hot, rich, and thriving, everyone. Oh, so good. So good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are very excited to be here with you today. Before we get into all of the magic that we've prepared for you today, let's just do a little check-in. How's everyone doing? What's the vibe? Head to the chat, give us a word, give us a phrase, a series of emojis. Tell us what's up. We'd love to know. And then we will get into it.
And if you're on the replay, I know there's lots of you who signed up. We're not here live, so we'd love for you to also do a little check-in.
Yeah.
This is not like the fast forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Fast forward. Where's the stuff that I need to learn?
Let me get to the good stuff.
Excited to be excited. Yeah. Angeli, we were just talking about you the other day, Kelsey and I. We were like, she's so on fire. We were just like, anyways, we were just how much you've transformed in the last little bit. We were just like, oh yeah. Feeling energized. Love it. I love it. Excited to be excited also. That's from our little challenge the other day too. Love it. Feeling like a bag of dicks this morning. Oh my God, the emojis. Yeah.
The emojis make it. That's obsessed.
I love it, Jenny. I love the bags of dicks. Yeah.
I sure do.
And I love that you're here even feeling like a bag of dicks. Because as soon as you like just name it, like Jenny, I feel like you're already like club coded right now. Because like this is the type of shit where like, yeah, this is like very Club Unhinged woman answer. And then we can laugh about it and we move on. We're like, yay. Feeling a bit determined, and it's time to have some honest journaling combos with myself. Yes. Feeling like the snow in the globe is starting to settle a bit.
Nice.
Yes.
Love that.
Landing from a lot of off-grid travel and living in Colorado, feeling raw and also very open and vulnerable. Unfurling with the spring in my exploding yard and garden. Love it.
Oh.
Body's feeling a bit tense. Everything is going well. I'm settling into the moment. Yeah. I'm excited. I need to be in the magic of the vortex today. My mind is going a bit crazy because my soul is pulling me towards something and my mind doesn't know how it's all going to work out.
Yep. Zing, zing, Steph. Cheers. Oh, yes. Yes. Is that everybody?
There's a lot of this going on right now. I went for coffee this morning and I bumped into this guy who I seem to bump into. I met, actually, he goes to my children's school, but I saw him at a Joe Dispenza event and we were in like Dallas and we were in the lineup and I'm like, does your child go to like Brooks, like the school that? And he's like, yeah. Anyways, we keep bumping into each other. So I just went to JJ, bumped into him and I'm like, how's it going? He's like, good. I just like left my company. Like I just decided I was going to do it. Like we had a conversation where I was like, yes, fucking do it. Like I was like, we were kind of masterminding one day in JJ and then it's like, yeah, I did it. I just like, he's built like obviously this hyper successful company. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to do something I really care about. And he's like, I don't know. I'm totally in the unknown. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was like, today is just like so coded with like fuck around and find out energy. Like life is too short. We're not going to half-ass things. You know what I mean? Like I can really feel that right now in the vortex of just like radical transformation, radical change, and just like really big, bold moves. You can feel it. People are just like, yeah, you know what? That thing that I've been sitting on, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to fucking take action. So it feels like a very action Jackson type of dig vortex, you know?
I'm so here for it.
Well, just everywhere I'm going right now, the people are just like, yeah, I'm making this decision. Yeah, I'm fucking going for it. I'm like, yes. The
Mm-hmm.
vibe. That's the Vibosaurus Rex today, guys.
Really, really is. Yeah. And it's the cool thing is that it's not just like something that's happening locally too. Like I'm having these conversations with girlfriends who are on the other side of the planet and it's the same energy. Like it's so fucking cool. It's just the coolest. And I love seeing women. Well, and I mean, obviously men too, but like in the club, it's girls' club. No boys allowed.
Unless they're strippers.
And here, like just watching these women thrive and rise and shine and, essentially like shed off that old skin of the patriarchy that tells them that they have to be small and quiet and meek and like do the practical thing. Like, no. Just no. We're here to do big, bold things and like send these massive ripples of possibility through the matrix. We can't do that if we're sitting on our hands being good girls. It's time to get a little bad. Bad and bright and shine and all the things.
Totally. Yeah. Well, this is like leads us all the way into our conversation today. Power, money, magic, they all are intertwined. Magic and money are highly attracted to power.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because when we're powerful, we feel powerful and we feel magnetic and we feel authentic and ourselves, we take really different actions than we do when we don't feel in our power. If we're not in our power, we're taking actions that are usually a lot more meek. They're a lot more
Safe.
safe, manipulated, sort of controlled, right? Very different actions. So when we find out who we are, we shed away all the shit, we come into contact with who we actually are and our authentic expression, we feel it's like our power surge just starts to amplify. Like the more we shed, the more our power just like wah, wah, wah. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, the synchronicity, this person, just this thing, opportunity, I don't know what's even happening. And I'm like, I do. There's a method. It's a method and it's working.
Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. And so much of it has been built into the visibility challenge, right?
Yes.
Like if we're hiding, and whether that's like we've got our invisibility cloak on, I know I'm so good at this one. And I just like put my invisibility cloak on and I can just like go through the world and like kind of be undetected. And then if I take it off, I get detected almost instantaneously. And if I don't have boundaries, then my interest in being visible goes down. Because if I am seen, well, that means that I'm going to be seen by the people I like and also by the people that I don't like. Like when we start to shine in our power, it does act as a filter. So, like a lot of the people who are incongruent will, I think of it like, She-Ra. I'm probably dating myself here, being an 80s baby, but She-Ra, and like she just has like this force field around her, right? So, like, there's very few people that can like really get in energetically, but there are still going to be some that do because everyone's attracted to the light. Like all the bugs, like when you're out in the summertime, like the bugs are attracted to the light. We don't love them. They're pests, but they still get attracted in, right? So we have to have boundaries. And if we don't have boundaries, then it's very difficult to step into our visibility. And then if we're not in our visibility, well, how are we going to really be in our authentic expression? And our power goes down the toilet when we're hiding. It goes offline when we're being inauthentic, when we aren't telling the truth, whether that's telling the truth to ourselves or telling the truth to other people. And so today we want to have a juicy conversation about why the power goes off in the first place. And then how do we get this back on and keep it on so that you become that magnet for all of the things you want: money, love, opportunities, that hot, rich, thriving era that you feel in your bones, that you're like, oh, yes, this is for me. I know it's for me. But like, I'm cock blocked a bit. Like there's stuff in the way. Like, what is this interference? Well, we're gonna dive into it today. And I'm so excited.
We are. You know what's interesting though, Kels?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't plan this, but I'm feeling like we need to pull the energy together.
Sure.
Are we okay for a couple minute little It's like energetically, I can just feel like we're in it, but I can feel it's almost like a thin sheath of like cock block for the information to like sink. Like I
Yeah,
feel like I want to sink the energies a little so that we can
sure.
like dive. Like this is not going to be one of my long processes, I promise. Couple minutes just to like take a breath, come into our bodies, and just like sink. As I would say to Kelsey, Syncosaurus Rex. Everything has like got a Rex on the end apparently these days.
Everything. Yeah, that's just our thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna invite Christy's already in it. She's like, I'm fucking in.
Let's go. Beam me up, baby.
You can tell when somebody works with us a lot because they're already like in position. As soon as they hear me say, okay, we're gonna sing our energies.
Doing the position.
In position. I love it. Okay. And if you're like walking or doing anything, you can still do this. You can absolutely do this. It's more of just like a low gaze or just kind of like coming into yourself. You don't even have to be stopped. It's just more of like a in tune with self. Okay. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. If you're walking, low gaze or just like a nice softness, like a more of like a softness to the body. Yeah. Good. Yeah, just taking some nice deep breaths. So I want you just to land in your space. I don't care where you are, whether you're seated, whether you're standing, whether you're laying down, whether you're in your home, whether you're in a hotel, whatever, wherever you are. And yeah, you might feel little yawns. That's great. That's actually your nervous system decompressing. So just allowing your body to clock where you are. So often we spend time in the future and in the past and to-dos, and we're very scattered. Not consciously, it's a very unconscious thing. Our mind is working behind the scenes like 24/7 to be like, what about this and this and this and this? And it's like, we get into like squirrel central. And what's interesting is actually the present moment where we get the magic happens. It's in being fully grounded, anchored, and present, not you know what I mean? Like it's like so often we have so many things going on. So the more we can just draw our energy back to ourselves, calling back our energy. We're obviously on a Sunday. If you're listening to this on a different day, then it might be a little bit different for you, but we're at the end of the week. And oftentimes by now, we've had a full week of energy, to-dos, things, moving the bodies, doing work, like all sorts of different things. We've been interacting with a lot of people. And what we do throughout the week is we deposit our energy with people, places, and things, with children, with projects. And I'm going to invite you just with your breath, and you can put your hands on your body if that feels good. I like to put my hands on my body. It just helps me anchor in to where I am, helps me like feel present in my body. But I'm going to invite you to call back any and all energy just from throughout the week. So let's say you had a conversation with somebody. Let's say you were working on a project with somebody for your work, or you were, driving around, or you were dropping kids off, or you're doing things. I'm going to invite you to call your energy back to you. And there's no special process. It's just as simple as setting the intention of like, yeah, I'm going to gather my energy back. Start to feel your energy, that life force energy, just starting to pull back towards you. So it's just like a little magnet. You're just calling it back. We spend a lot of our life very fragmented. And today we're really coming back into wholeness, into unity with self. So you're going to feel all your muscles starting to relax as all your energy is being called back to you. And as your energy is being called back, I'm going to invite you to just scan your body. And I want you just to discharge, just with your attention, with your mind. I discharge any energy that's not mine. So just like we deposit, we also draw in energy that isn't ours. So I'm going to invite you just to right now, you can take an inhale. And on your exhale, you can say the word release. We're just like sending the energy back. And you're not being mean by doing this or anything. You can just say, like, I just released this out of my body, out of my field. This isn't mine. It never was. Maybe it's other people's fears or expectations, or maybe there's a conversation that was had that you felt a little sticky after. So you're just cleansing and clearing your energy. And why we're doing this is we're just setting the intention. We're bringing your body vibrationally back into harmony. back into truth, back into authenticity, back into power, so that we can be here today and we can fully absorb and let marinate the transmission that will come through, the words that are going to come through. And anything that's on your mind or you've been thinking about we can just pop it on a shelf. We can come right back to it if we want after the call, or we're just shelving it for the next hour so that we can be here now and see what magic comes from being in the now. In the now is the only moment where change and transformation can happen. If we are, so often we're going through our lives and we're in the now, but we are in a different place mentally or our body physically. So the body is usually, if we don't do the cleansing, clearing, and nervous system work, our bodies are actually in the past. So the mind is usually racing in the future, trying to figure out how to mitigate what is being in the body, which is the past. So when we can sink the mind into the now, we can train it like a dog, say, no, come back, here we are. Nope, come back, here we are. It's like yanking a dog with a leash. And then the body as well. We're letting the body know through our touch and through vibration, not through words, because the body does not understand language, doesn't speak language. We're letting it know through experience, which is how it changes and transforms, that it is safe. We're in a safe environment. It is okay to expand, to grow, because oftentimes our bodies are very much in survival mode, fight or flight, unconsciously. And if you think about it, it's not a time to learn if you feel like you're under threat. It is a time to do, it is a time to take action, it is a time to, move very quickly. We go up to a deer who's being under threat or chased, and we say, let's talk about making awesome money and stepping into our purpose. The deer's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm about to be chased. So we just want to let our bodies know more and more and more that we're actually good so that we can expand. As Sarita would say, we would become these wild horses that are like chasing our dreams and like off, like just like gallivanting in the sun and creating and visioning. And this happens through the body because this is where the blocks live in the body. And as we move forward and step into our expansion, our most thriving era, that stage of reinvention that we're all in right now, building and expanding, it is really pivotal to let the body know that we are safe, we're capable, and we do that through lived experience and through community, which is why we've designed the things that we do. Good. So I want you to feel your shoulders soften, so just having, if there's any excess, you can just say to your body, if there's any excess energy that's not mine, let's do a nice little release. It's like a flush of the energy out. And in the flush out, there's a nice, beautiful call back in of the energy, of your own energy in this place. Just feeling your shoulders soften and the muscles of your face soften and your jaw and your scalp. Just feeling like honey, just like softness come through the body. Melting, 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 bringing you into the present moment. Because in the here and now is where we manifest what will show up in our lives tomorrow and in the next week and in the next month and in the next year. So it's in the now that we actually have the power to create. And what choices and behaviors and things we do today will then have a ripple and impact our 3D reality and what we experience moving forward. Good. So we're going to take a nice big inhale. And on your exhale, you can flutter your lips if you want. You can do a little shaky shake. Just the releasing out, doing a little like, a little cleansy cleanse. One more time, nice big inhale. Pushing the energy out if that feels good, using your voice. Let's do one more, nice big push out of the breath. So nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. Doing a little tongue out, whatever feels good. A little shaky shake. Good. And whenever you're ready, just coming back into the present moment. Feeling the smooth and buttery feeling of the present moment. You might feel tired. It's okay. Tired is good. Just like milking the silence. Can we just feel the silence? Like, can you feel? I know we're on Zoom, but like, is it not? Can you? Is it not palatable how different? It's like everyone went whoosh, laser focus. It's like there's a silence. I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it. Like energetically as a group, it's like everyone just went click, 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 and it's just like, yeah, that was the landing gear I needed. Big things, yeah. That's what I mean. It's like really didn't take very long, couple minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is. But it's like you can see how we think doing more is better. It's actually about doing less better and simplifying. That is the real flex these days. It's around like releasing and shedding all the excess that we think we need to do and coming back into contact with like alignment with truth. And then that's when like we get hyper focused and shit just happens very quickly because there's not a bunch of excess like noise and chatter and stuff from the past and stuff from the future. It's just like the now. Because if you think about like tomorrow, it's like, well, tomorrow's just now again. You think of like next Friday night, it's always just now. It's always just now, right? Christmas. Next Christmas is just now again. So it's just always now. Okay, I won't go into my quantum physics talk, but this is the vibe. This is the vibe. So thank you for letting me give you a little tickle.
So good. It's so good. The word I kept hearing while we were doing that was coherence.
Yeah.
And like when our body is in coherence, that is where like you don't have to try to turn your power on. Your power is on when you are in coherence. And so much of the world is designed to take you out of coherence with yourself. And so if we can just remember that one thing, like, okay, my power automatically turns on. I don't have, like Christine said, I don't have to go and do like the laundry list of 20 things to get my power back. Like if I come into coherence with myself, all of a sudden my power is back on. Yeah, I feel so in tune. Exactly. Like that is where your natural state of power, and this is the cool thing, each of you has a unique expression of power. No two people express power the same way. And yet out in the world, we get this like very one-dimensional avatar of what power means. And in my humble opinion, what we see as power is the distortion of power a lot of the time. It's like power over, which is not power at all. That's force. It's domination. It isn't true power. Because where you are right now in this state of coherence with yourself, like if you were to take action from this spot, you're not going to go out and dominate people. You're just going to go and truth tell. You're going to take that hot sword of truth and just slice through the bullshit, which is great for your challenge today, too. But this is the thing about power is it also includes unlearning what power is not. Power is not that domination over. But I'm sure a lot of us have an imprint like that. And that imprint usually comes from our family system or our upbringing or our education or just witnessing the world around us. And so coming back into coherence is the cheat code. It's the super highway back to your power. And like Christine said, it doesn't take very long, which is why it's not a popular thing to teach because you can't actually like commercialize that. Like people try, of course, but like we just gave you the cheat code. And again, it didn't take long. You walked yourself through the process. And now you know exactly at any single point in time in your life where you're feeling that loss of power, your access to coming back into power is generating that sense of coherence with yourself. like Christine said, coming back into the present, landing in your body. And Christine, I think you said this on yesterday's transmission in the challenge, but like so much of the work you see in spiritual circles, especially, is about ascension, of like trying to ascend the body, like almost like get rid of your humanness. That's not what we're here to do. Like you have a human, until the day you die. And so to receive like all of these messages of like the whole point is to like ascend your humanness and like get rid of it. Well, that sets you up. You know what that sets you up for? To be out of congruence with your human. It's actually perfect to keep people stuck in a spot of spinning their tires, buying a bunch of shit that they don't need, following a path that's incongruent for them. It's perfect. And in the club, well, we're not into that. We're into you coming into right relationship with your woman, right relationship with your humanness, so that you can express that unique code of power that is only yours to express, which we will be working with that pretty intentionally over the next 3 months inside of the club, because that's our next quarter. And I'm so pumped. But, you know, each of us is going to express power differently. And if we have this one singular dimensional understanding of power, then we're all trying to like contort ourselves into like this distorted idea of power. And then we're like, why don't I feel powerful? Well, because it's not authentic. And if we're acting from a place of inauthenticity, then we can quickly snowball into the other places where we leech our power, which is, you know, hiding, not telling the truth, like building a whole life that is totally inauthentic to us, but it's somebody else's dream. You know, we see this a lot in family systems, you know, where kids, you know, take on like careers that their parents wanted for themselves. You see it a lot in movies too, where like a kid wants to be, you know, an artist, but the dad had dreams of being a professional baseball player that he never actualized. So the kid gets put into baseball instead of art class. And so in order to maintain dad's love and connection, I need to become the best baseball player I could possibly be, instead of what's the most authentic expression for me. And that's kind of the hero and heroine's journey, right? Is like we find ourselves on these inauthentic paths, and then we wake up and we're like, oh shit, this is not it. It's time for some reinvention. It's time for some reclamation. And when we wake up to that, that's when our power also comes back online. Because anytime you have that authentic moment of realization, you're back in coherence with yourself. It might only last for a microsecond, but we want you to clock that, because anytime you're being truly authentic is a time when your power is on. And the more you clock these moments, the more familiar that somatic sensation of coherence is going to code into your body. And the more familiar and the more you have a reference point for it, then it's easier when you're like completely dysregulated, totally off the rails, and you're like, wait, this is not the code. This is not the map, the imprint, but I do know what that feels like. So I do know when I come back into that state of congruence with myself. And so you can always find your way back now that Christine so masterfully led you through that process. So excited for y'all. I can't wait to see how each of your individual expressions of power manifest, not only over these next 3 months, but like over the course of your life in general. Like when we start acting and moving from this place, this is where possibility starts to open. This is where we start living in that vortex of possibility, creating in that vortex, versus I'm just creating more of what I've always had because I'm stuck in that hamster wheel of fear. I'm stuck in the hamster wheel of my programming, of my parents' beliefs, my community's beliefs, like the overarching matrix beliefs. And so we're moving you from that track of convention into a very unconventional track, which is the track of your authenticity, the track of your truest expression, the track of your embodied power. So
Mm. Okay. I love this, Kels. What I kept hearing as well is like power sometimes isn't like the sexiest thing to sell because you're like, well, what does power mean?
Mm.
How does that? Okay, cool, power, but how does that like show up in my life? And power is the precursor to magic, and it's the precursor to lots of money and all the sorts of things. Your magnetism, money, opportunities, experiences, like that fuck yes life that you have in your heart that you know you're here to actualize. You wouldn't be here if you wouldn't be showing up to this if you didn't have it in you. And so often life I talk a lot about, and we'll be diving into when we go into this power quarter, is around like circumstantial power versus personal power. Circumstantial power is like if everything's going right in my life and things are good and the client buys the thing, or everything's smooth, then I feel powerful. But the minute that something takes a turn or doesn't, then I like drop my power. It's like whoosh out the window. And we want you to have personal power, which is like no matter what, I'm fucking powerful. It's not based on whether the wind and Mercury is in retrograde and the wind is over here and the whatever. And bless it, like listen, I'm not heckling astrology. I'm just saying that like it's like no matter what, I'm a powerful woman. I'm in integrity with what I say I'm going to do. I follow through. I make commitments. And it's not about perfectionism, but it's around knowing yourself so deeply. And we can't know ourselves when we are not honest, we're not truth telling, and we're not even willing to look at, which is why this whole visibility challenge, we've had you look at all areas of your life. Get into right relationship with it. Actually be real with it. Go look at your bank account. Notice what happens in your body. Like starting to come into contact with these pieces of your body, of your relationships. Because when you can be visible with yourself and your life, you can actually make change. You can actually fully make changes. And I've riffed on this, I think, on one of the little transmissions, or it was maybe in Panther, the private podcast. I can't remember one of them. But when we're born, this is my belief at least, when we're born, we're like, think of like a little baby. We have these like, we're so cute. We're so on fire. We have like, we don't grow up, we're not born hating people. We're not born having all of these like, this is my political view and I'll never change it. Like, it's like, there's so much indoctrination. There's so much messaging. Like we're like these cute little squeaky clean beings. And it's just like, here's the map to life. And it's all based on who we surround ourselves and their limitations and what they've been through and what was available to them and what they experience. And so our power, if you think about it, our power is like, I think we're just as much that first few years is like, we're like part sort, we're like very much still in that spiritual realm of like, everything's possible. Right. We don't care about whether we look chubby in a little diaper. Everyone's like, you're so cute. I love you. We're like celebrated for everything. We walk and we're like, oh my God, you walked. Now we like have a side hustle, fucking 6 kids, and we're like trying to do a million things. And everyone's like, you should be doing better. Right. Like, it's like, so like, if you think about it, we're trained over time. Our power like siphons. The less us we are, the more we try to fit in, the more we're trying to be like other people, which is look at the school system, right? Like it's like be like everyone else to fit in. But what happens is we siphon up our power. Every time we do that, we snip off a part of us, or we're angry or we're spicy and somebody's like, you're too much. And then we were like, oh my God, I'm going to lose connection to my parents. And our nervous system cares about belonging and our family unit more than anything. It will ditch everything else for that. Every time we do that, we siphon off power. So it's no wonder by midlife, we've had experiences, heartbreaks, disappointment. We've had shit go wrong. We haven't had a roadmap. We haven't been taught about the nervous system. We haven't been taught about any of it. And so by midlife, no wonder we have these, I said like midlife crises. I'm like, it's actually the awakening. It's like the time to come back home to who you actually are. You've gotten like way away from the mothership. I think of like the mothership as like this massive cruise ship, and we're like these baby little boats. And then we're like, the mothership's like, okay, it's time to go and forget everything. And we're like, fucking scary. And it like puts away, and then it goes off to like shore, and there's like, it's like dark and stormy and crazy, and the boat's like, I'm gonna die. I've forgotten I even have a mothership. And then there's like these lighthouses, which are all of you. And the more we become ourselves, the lighthouse cranks. And the more we're like, you know what, this just happened to me. Here's my truth. I'm not afraid. I'm vulnerable. I'm willing to speak up. And somebody's like, oh my God, me too. And then we like steer back, and then we like go back. And the more we become ourselves, the more we come back to like the mothership source, whatever you want to call it, our power starts to amp up. Right. And so over time, it's like we lose our power, we forget intentionally, because that's the fun thing of the human game, of our spirits, of our souls. We're like, this will be so fun. We'll come in, we'll remember everything, and we'll forget everything. And then midlife, some crazy thing will happen. For me, my holy fuck moments, brought down to my knees, being like, I'm gonna die. And then it's like we go back on path. We find the right people, places, communities, things that help steer us back. And we want to help you build your power, because the more you become, which is actually about doing less, not more, shedding less, more of the crap, more of the stories, more of the conditioning, more of the whatever. And then coming back to who we are, our power starts to like, starts to build. And then when our power builds and we have less crap from the past and more presence and more truth of who we are, our intuition amps up. Then we start getting ideas. We start moving out of trauma island and survival mode, and we start moving more and more towards like, I feel a little more regulated. I feel like I've got these ideas starting to come in. Then we go through the whole thing of like, well, who am I to do this thing? And da da da. That we have that fun game that we like to play. But then when we start to shed more and we have people like cheering us on, championing us, being like, fuck yeah, that's your dream. You want to make that much money? Let's go. Then all of a sudden we surge even further, because we don't have all the crap holding us back. We're not lone wolfing it by ourselves, being like, can I not? Can I not? Like wasting our time, bleeding out all of our time. Then all of a sudden our magic starts coming online. What did we fucking come here for? What are your gifts? What is your purpose? And it's not, doesn't have to be a heavy thing. Your purpose can be who you are in the world, and like making people laugh, or putting smiles on people's faces, or, it can be anything. It can show up as cooking, crafting. It could be speaking. It could be writing books. It could be creating art, whatever it is for you. But I think we all have these soul blueprints within us, these like roadmaps. And the more crap we have from the past, the less active it is. It's just like frozen solid inside of us. But as we defrost and we start thawing out and we start coming into contact with who we are, it starts lighting up and it starts giving us the pathway. And that's what we do in the club. We want to help you come back into like, what are you here for? What's your magic? Let's design the life that actually fucking lights you up. Not the one that you were given or told was good, or the linear pathway, or the go to college and then do this thing and then maybe get a small raise and then bitch about it and then have a couple grandkids and you fucking die. Like, that is not the vibe, right? We want you to have the fucking best goddamn adventure where you're like, some kid came up to you and was like, tell me your life story, grandma. You'd be like, holy fuck.
Buckle up, kids.
Holy shit. Okay, first of all, earmuffs. This is probably going to be rated R, but I got to tell you all the shit because listen, we got to go. We got to go. Like, that's the kind of story I want. I want the stories where I hop on a flight from Costa Rica to Miami for 24 hours. Why? Makes no sense. It's $1,500. I'm going anyways. It's like the shit that doesn't make sense. It's like the big, bold move. It's the leaps of faith. It's the stepping into the unknown. And it's having the people to back you, right? Which is so important, because when we start activating our power, the blueprint comes online. We start actualizing our gifts. When we start actualizing our like God-given gifts, the things that we're naturally very good at, all of a sudden we get very well paid. And the universe is like, it's like warmer. All of a sudden more money, more opportunities start coming in. We're like, oh my God, I think I'm on the right track. Because it's like alignment, right? We're in alignment with who we are. God, source, universe wasn't like, I'm going to create you as a joke. You'll be the weird one. It's like, I'm going to give you everything. Like, you are you, because that's what I want. You have these unique things you need to bring in only the way you can do it, with only your life experiences and all the crazy shit you've been through. It's all been for a reason, so that you can share your story. You can be the lighthouse for other people. Like, your unique story and message, it will never come out the same way. People are always like, the market's so saturated. I'm like, come on. We banded together. We couldn't help everyone if we tried. Like, not even fucking close. So it's like our unique method, message, all of that comes through a lot of our mess, the shit we've been through, the chaos we've been through, the stuff we've overcome, the dark night of the soul moments, those holy fuck moments, the phoenix rising moments. Like, that's what we're here to share. humans just want to know they're not alone, right? We want to be in connection. We want to be in community. The problem is that a lot of the times we get taken out. And for me, that was years. This is why we created the club, is because we were like, oh yeah, this happens a lot. We see way too many brilliant people not self-actualizing, not being in their power, not making the money, not going for what they want, not raising their rates, all these things, because they're like, I can't, I'm afraid, XYZ. Like so we want you to be actualizing, designing your dream lives, coming into your power. Power is the precursor to your intuition, to magic, to all these pieces, which is to money. So it's all connected, right? When you feel powerful, you make different moves, you speak different things, you ask for different things. You're just a different person. Versus if you don't feel in your power, you're not taking those actions, you're not doing those things. You feel a lot more like, I can't, right? Kelsey and I, you'll hear in our podcast, no offense, but we call it like limp dick energy. It's very much like, I don't know. It's very passive. It's very like, I don't know, maybe not. Like it's just very wobbly. And so we want you in your like
Erect.
erect energy. The like, I am taking this. This is me. I am claiming my life. I'm going after it. This is it. And so this is what we want for you. And this is how it's all connected. The power, like in the quarters, people are like, why do you do love, sex, money, and power? We're like, well, first of all, these are 4 areas that you're supposed to know fully about and be fully and like educated in. Nobody talks about them. They're riddled with shame. And most women, it's like, it's not a thing that was ever taught, right? Even we get applications for the club, and some of them will be like, well, I want to be here and here, but I don't know about like sex. And we're like, you know that sex is connected to money, which is connected to life force energy, is connected. It's not about sitting there being like, let's teach you how to give a better blowjob, which maybe that'll be a course. But it's around like, my boyfriend says I could run one. But what I'll say is maybe TMI. Yeah. We gotta laugh. Humor.
Club Unhinged. This is never TMI.
Unhinged.
Let's be real.
But it's about it's coming back into contact with your body. Like I used to hate my body. I was so ashamed of it. I could barely orgasm. Like I was just like, I hate, like I'm just was so locked up. So it's not about that. It's about loosening and becoming more in contact, self-love with your body, with your feminine essence, with your playfulness, with your magnetism, with your sexiness. Because it's all linked to money. It's all linked to power. Things are all woven into each other. Right. So,
well, I mean, even like the connection of like your capacity to receive pleasure.
100%.
If you can't receive pleasure, how are you going to receive money and that be pleasurable? So if you want to be able to receive money and not, like, be like, oh my God, get it out. Like we have to be able to have the tolerance and the capacity to receive good things, to receive pleasure. And when we go into sex, well, we're going to be playing with that thread, because sex, when you have female anatomy, your anatomy is designed to receive. However, I don't know if you've noticed on planet Earth, but women get the code of like, oh, we're here to give, which has you be out of sync, out of coherence with your actual blueprint, which is to receive. You have to receive first, and then you give. That's the blueprint of our bodies. Like, even if you think about it in terms of birth, you have to receive the seed, and then the baby grows, and then you birth or give it to the world. So whether we're talking about physical birth or metaphorical birth, that's how it goes. So y'all, you got to be able to be in that pocket of receiving goodness. So this, again, like Christine said, that's why we touch on all of these topics, because whether it doesn't matter where we start on the map, we just have to start and go into all of them, and they're all interconnected. Sorry to derail you, but I felt like that needed to be said.
That was not derailing. That was fucking magic. It's true. It so is. We need to receive. Oftentimes, again, people are like, I have a money problem. I'm like, no, you have a power problem, or you have a worthiness problem, or you have a receiving problem. Because we're manifesting all fucking day. Usually it's the shit that we oftentimes don't want because we're obsessing about it and then putting a lot of energy in it. Like I joke about that analogy of like when you go and grab, like if you go to a store and you grab something off of the rack, like a t-shirt, you're like, this is so ugly. Who would wear this? Like, it's like universe is like, just put it down. And we're like, no.
It's on
Look
sale.
at all the detail on how ugly this is, and la 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 la. And the universe is like, put it down. You're giving it way too much energy right now, and I'm going to start delivering it. If you hold it up, universe doesn't know if we like it or don't like it. It knows what we're putting our attention on and our energy on. So if it's a fear or if it's whatever it is, we tend to manifest it. The universe is like, oh, I guess you want the ugly shirt. We're like, this is so ugly. And then the next day, knock, knock. It's like, here's your ugly shirt. And you're like, why the fuck would you give this to me? And the universe is like, well, why you were putting so much attention on it? And I thought you were obsessed with it and you wanted it. So here you go. And it's like, we're like, well, no, right? Or we're not specific, right? Like I was thinking, we hosted Easter here. I don't know why, because we literally moved in 2.5 weeks ago. It's another story for another day. But my whole family comes over and we couldn't figure out this bloody oven. And Steve's like, hey, we'll just Google it. So I go and Google it. And then I put in like, he said like, he would Google something like very generic. And then I was like, well, no, we need to put in the fact it's like a mealy oven and it's this specific thing and it's this size of turkey. And like all of a sudden I put in all of these specific things and I got the answer right away. And I was thinking this like thing popped in my mind. I'm like, oh my God, this is so relatable to manifestation. Because if I put in Google, how do I fucking roast a turkey for Easter? I'm going to get a fucking gazillion. Well, what kind of turkey? How big is it? How many pounds is it? What kind of oven do you have? What temperature do you want to be doing it at? Like, what time do you need it by? Like all of these things. And I was like, oh, we do this as humans all the time. I just want shoes, universe.
Okay.
Delivers some fucking brown loafers to your door. No dissing loafers, but like, and we're like, what the fuck are these? And it's like, well, you just said shoes.
You were non-specific.
Yeah, versus like you go in and you type in, I want like blue suede shoes. I want a 3.5-inch heel. I want them to be a slim fit. I want a buckle that goes over. I want the thing. And this is what we do in the club is we're helping you design a life that's very specific. But if we're not into contact and we feel guilty about wanting more, we've been told you can't have more and you shouldn't ask for more, which is very coded as children, we're not even in touch with our desires. So how do we manifest shit when we're just constantly like, it's like a very weak sort of like the signals like, I just want not this. The universe is like, what the fuck does that mean? And it doesn't understand not this. So if we're like, I don't want more shitty boyfriends, all it hears is, oh, shitty boyfriends. Delivery. Whereas again, like it's right. There's no nuance to the universe. It's science and math, right? Basically in the club this is a manifestation course as well. Like we could call it a manifestation course, but it's like we're going in to get specific, and we can only get specific by becoming authentically who we are and knowing ourselves and knowing what we like and knowing what we don't like and being willing to ask for things and being willing to, like, I realized as well, I had such a muddled life. I couldn't ask for what I wanted in the bedroom. I didn't even know what I wanted in the bedroom. I couldn't even fucking receive in the bedroom. So how am I going to have great sex if I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's where my clit is. Good job. Keep going there.
Like popcorn on the side. Like, ooh. It's just when we don't know what we want and we're afraid to even ask for it, which again is very much coded from when we're young. We're afraid, like we're not asking for different contracts. We're not raising our race. We're not doing anything because we're like, we should just be grateful for what we have. That's a big message that's sent to women. You should just be grateful for what you have. There's other people who are starving in Africa. I remember like all these, like when I was young, it's like, well, you should be so grateful and people are starving and all the things. And I'm like, how is me being disempowered going to help anybody? Right? Like us having a lot of money and having big hearts and like taking great care of ourselves and being massively resourced and overflowing and then sharing that overflow with the world is a great fucking thing. So us sitting there and being like, I shouldn't ask for too much. It's like, there's no one pie. We're not if we take a big chunk of the pie, doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're like, oh, now there's very little pie for the rest of the world. It's like we all have our own pie. The universe is like a pie for you, a pie for you, a pie for you. How much do you want? I've got unlimited pie. And we're like, I should just take a sliver, right? Help me, right? It's not pie for everyone. Everything is a fucking pie.
No crap.
You get pie. You get a pie. You get a pie. Everyone gets a pie. It's like we go to the biggest fucking stadium of the world and like everyone gets a ticket and we're like, I want her ticket. She's got my ticket. She's the coach. She's already coaching on what I want. And then we're spending our whole life trying to go after and it's like, well, bitch, you have a ticket. Open your fucking mail. What are you doing? Right? So it's just, We're silly. We're silly. This is all just a fucking game anyways. Life is just a game. Like I said on my visibility thing the other day, I'm like, think of how many species of fish, or like just go watch David Attenborough or whatever one is like fucking life on the planet. I'm like, what the fuck is this life? Like this is so offside. Like this is so ridiculous. Like it's just life is so fleeting, and we're using like a fraction of our power. And like life becomes so fun. I remember like bumping into people, be like, how are you? I'm like, honestly, I'm fucking great. And they're like, what? Who says that? I'm like, I'm honestly just so happy. Like, created a life where I get to like, I pinch myself. Like, Steve and I always say to each other, we're like, how did we get here? Like, this is so fucking weird. But shit is like written in the stars. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I said to him, I was like, well, we got here because we both made really big, bold decisions to leave our marriages. And we did the unraveling, we created the aftermath, and we stepped into the unknown. I'm like, it is fate, but it's also like, you also have to do the unraveling and being willing to step into the things that are calling you in your soul. And then have a community who is willing to back you. Like, I'll just share really quick. One of my clients Voxered me this morning. She's so immaculate. And she goes, it was so nice hanging out with this girl. She said, it just made me realize how valuable being around other like people who are in the world and in the game is. She's like, because I shared with her my vision that her and I had talked about having $1 million business in the next 3 years. And she's like, everyone around me thinks I was like, when I shared it with them, they were like, you're nuts. Like, that's not possible. And so she's like, people around me were like, why don't you have kids? And you should be having kids now. And you should want this traditional life. And like, they all think I'm nuts because I don't want that. I want to, I want this. I want to build my business. I want to have this, and sharing the numbers she wants to be making. She's like, I want to have 30, 40K months. And I was like, yeah, of course you can. I have no fear for her because I'm in communities where that is the fucking norm. Like, it's so normal. Like, I'm like, so that it's normal in my nervous system. I'm like having people who are like, yes, and are so fearlessly backing it, where like that's what I mean. Oftentimes in Kelsey and we did some tag team coaching with some of the women in the club, and like they would come and be like, so this is the dream. And we're like, 100%. Like, what do you mean 100%? I'm like, 100 fucking percent. That's possible.
Probably go bigger.
Go bigger. What's your, like, and so when you have somebody who has that belief in you or on that unshakable, like, of course, obviously, it's like it does a head spasm because most people are so locked in fear or their small vision, or I've never seen anybody make a 30K month. How is that even possible? So it's like when you surround yourself with people who are like, yes to life, yes to vision, yes to bigger, yes to bolder, it actually helps calibrate. Like, there's an actual physical calibration that happens in belief. Like, where all of a sudden you just like zoink, because people are like 100%. It's very rare to have people say that. People are like, well, let's run some numbers. Let's take a look.
The economy.
Look, the economy is not very good right now. I remember when I started.
We're in a recession, everyone.
Like, that's actually the time to double down. Usually, it's like double down. Look at stocks. When people freak out and sell, that's when people scoop up real estate. They scoop up stocks because they're like, I'm going to be high risk, high reward. I'm fucking going in. I'm going in for it.
My time to thrive.
Yes. So how is this feeling, everyone? How are we doing? What's the vibe? Where are we at? Let's take a little temperature check. You can put an emoji. Where are you at? Where are you at, Boost?
Hi for everyone. That's fucking right. Hi for everyone. Yeah. I know. You know what, Anjali? We're going to add that to the list of slogans for our merch, and no one will get it except the women in the club, and it'll be chef's kiss.
Hi for everyone. Everyone will be like, cute sweater.
Okay, you fucking weirdos.
Hi for everyone.
I love this so much.
Feeling excited, realizing I need more of those people in my life. Yes, Jenny.
Yes,
Come
Jenny.
Come into the club. Come into the club. We want you. Okay. Zingy, Sarita, yeah. No more limp dick life.
All about the erection. That's another one. That's going in the merch.
That'll be on the front of the sweater. No more limp dick life. People will be like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Loving it all. Siren and spicy, yes. Pod, want to receive more. Yes.
Ah, Alyssa, yes. Yes.
See, this is what I mean. It's like going from like, we're very much around desire, like the club is not a place to just sit and heal. I mean, you will do a lot of healing, but it's more of a byproduct. It's not like we're going to sit around and just in the circle and be like, tell me about your trauma. And we will hold you. Like if you come to the group call and you're like, I'm going to fucking trauma spiral, of course we're going to help you. But it's more around like, what do you want? What's your big vision? What do you want to create? How much money do you want to make? Like, what kind of sex life do you want to have with yourself, with other people? What kind of magnetism? What do you want to be doing in the world? Like, and then as you go along that pathway with a vision, with a North Star, shit's going to come up along the way. But that's where we help you clear it. That's where like the stuff comes in. So you can accelerate very quickly because you're not, think about how many times you've had an idea or something and it's like, oh, and then you're like stuck to your own devices and you sit there and it just like festers and you're like, oh my, I can't do that. What am I talking about? Oh my God, and then you like fall back to sleep. And then 3 months or 6 months later, you're like, what happened? But then you like gnaws at your soul because you're like, fuck, I know I should have done that thing. Oh, look, she's doing it. And more evidence. Like, it's just like, it's this. Anyways, I've done it quite a few times. It's not fun. It's not fun. Because you're in your own, you're like battling your protector parts and you don't really know you have protector parts. So there's like, and then you have like the really strong sniper ones who come out to play, especially when you're on like the brink of a massive up level. Like it's like the golden snipers. I talked about that in Panther the other day around how like, it's like the golden snipers are the ones who are like, they almost guise as intuition where you're like, have a thought and then you're like right on the edge of it. And then they're like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do it later. And then we're like, that feels like sinking into a warm bath. That's my intuition. I knew it. I like it. But it's the fucking snipers. It's the sniper protective parts. And they get so calculated. So this is where we can see it and we can identify it very quickly. And even Alyssa, you said, I saw you've typed in earlier, like, I want to bring this up in the coaching call tomorrow. Bring it to the coaching club or bring it to the coaching call tomorrow. So every month in the club, we have our, it's like a 2-hour coaching call, almost 2 hours usually, where we're like diving in and doing hot seat coaching and moving through things because it's really important to have those things cleared quickly so they don't linger. Because if they linger, it goes back and we like lull ourselves back to sleep. So you're kind of just like the visibility challenge. That's why we created the Panther podcast, and which is included in the club, is because we want to have daily things that are reminding you, because repetition and consistency is how people change, right? It's how you can change. It's the repetition and consistency of having reminders in your ear. Like, no, you don't fall asleep. You've got this. What do you want to create? What are we building? Like, it's having that is really, really important. Just the way that the mind and the body are programmed, the nervous system. And yeah, so we want to be back in our power, our confidence, our magnetism, and like building the shit we want to build. Like we can't wait on our dreams. Like, what are we waiting for? Our mind's always like, just wait until this thing happens.
Next year we'll do
Next year we do that. Like when I signed up for that mastermind recently, I was in the middle of a move. I was so fucking had so much shit going on. I had just started, like, none of it made sense. And my soul was like, do it. Because it was like, when the fuck is going to be the perfect time? There is no perfect time. There is no like getting it right and then feeling comfortable and then making a move that's uncomfortable. It's an illusion. It's like the fucking like dingle, dingle, dingle. And then our protective parts are like, oh, dingle, dingle, got you again, psych. And then we're like, but why am I not living my dream life? Anyways, it's a fun game.
I mean, it's true. Like a few years ago, I had this like intuitive hit. I'm like, it's time to actually take songwriting seriously. Like we've been dabbling, we've been like putzing around, making songs, but like, are they great? Probably not. It's time to like really up the game. And then of course, like the universe is like, okay, that's what you want. Okay. So of course, Instagram feeds me a ad, the exact thing that I was looking for. I'm like, huh. Okay, click on it. I'm like, this is one of those things where it's going to take something for me to really show up, because it was a 5-day challenge, 5-day songwriting challenge that started at 5 a.m. my time. Anyone who knows me knows that I am not an early riser. I'm usually going to bed about like 1, sometimes 2 in the morning. Like, getting up and ready to songwrite with people all over the world at 5 a.m. is not in my wheelhouse. But the universe is like, well, you said you wanted this. Do you? And I was like, fuck. Okay, I fucking do. I'll fucking do it. So I sign up, and every morning I am up at 4:45, ready to write. And these classes were 6 hours long. They were not like short stints. It wasn't like, here, come learn for an hour. It's like, we're going to teach you. Then you're going to go into a breakout room and you're going to write a song with a stranger on the other side of the world. Then you're going to come back and we're going to critique your song in front of everybody. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But every day that I showed up to it, I'm like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And then they had their next level of whatever it was. And so I did that immersion for the weekend. And then I'm like, you know what? I need to go fucking all in. I need to go all in and do their year-long mentorship. And in that year-long mentorship, I found a couple mentors that I really, really vibed with. One of them, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the song, the Dido song that was on, what is that? Love Actually. What is it? Anyway, it's a very famous song. And the guy that wrote that song is one of my songwriting mentors that I have on speed dial now, who is like, Kelsey, I have a project for you that I want you to sing on because I've never heard a voice like yours. And I want to use your voice on all of these projects that I have. I'm now writing songs with people all over the world. We got to go to LA, songwrite in LA. Like, you never know what's going to open up when you say yes to yourself and yes to your dream life. And like Christine and I said the other day, like, our dream lives look very different. Very, very different. And that's fine. They don't need to look the same for us to be partners here, for us to like pour into each other. Like, my dream life is being able to spend a portion of time in Nashville, a portion in London or Europe, and then a portion in Canada, writing music, doing the club, writing, doing poetry. Like, it's very artistic. It's very creative. Like, I want, a French villa, and like, it's a little creative hub, and I can go and like write music, write poetry, frolic with all of the, spring flowers in the field, and like call it a day. And Christine's like, let's go to fucking Vegas.
Service.
And like, there's space for both of us to not only, I get her vision, I get why she wants what she wants, and I can amplify it and pour into it. I'll probably join, every once in a while. And she gets my vision, and she'll probably come and hang out in the villa every once in a while and like bring the whole fam and bring the whole crew, and we'll get fucking weird and make songs and frolic around. It'll be great. But like, the thing is, your dream life, your vision is unique to you, and it requires you to take a risk. It requires you to put your butt on the line and sacrifice something. And usually the sacrifice is your old ways of being. All of those beliefs that were coded into you have to be sacrificed. And then you've got to take a big risk. And a big risk is not like how the rest of the world sees big risk. Big risk is being vulnerable, saying yes to life, saying yes to love, saying yes to money, yes to pleasure. That's the big risk, because most people aren't fucking doing that. Most people are like, well, what's the practical goal I could have? And they're not dreaming. They're not scheming. They're not like really letting themselves go into that vortex of possibility. And like Christine said, you need to be surrounded by people who are big thinkers, big feelers, and who are already taking those risks in their own life. Because, for any of you, whatever you bring to us, we're going to champion. And be like, yeah, you're capable. You can do it, because we are also in the fucking game with you. We're making our own big moves. Christine just did a massive, like, literal move. I've been going to Nashville multiple times a year. building community, building contacts, co-writing. Like we were making these moves alongside with you, which is the reason why we can hold your vision, why we can champion you to take those risks, to be bolder, to dream a little bit bigger. And like if we sniff out that like the thing that you've said is like your protector parts, or it's like the smaller parts of you, we're gonna love that. I'm like, oh, cute. And also, what's the real thing? And like we'll keep going in until you hit the thing. And when you hit the thing, you'll know because you'll feel it in your body. You're like, ugh. It's like this whole like come back online. You're rebooted. And the reboot happens, and then there's also like a little tinge of fear behind it. Because it's risky. You're moving against the grain, like you're moving off of convention and moving into the unconventional path, which sometimes doesn't have a map. And we have to make the map as we go. And you make the map by taking the next aligned step. And then having people around you who are like, yep, that's not only totally possible, but I think you could probably do it in a quicker timeline. Like we can collapse time here. Like there are actions that you can take that will move this along and bring it to fruition quicker. I mean, some things take time, but like some things can happen really quick. And so we want you to have both of those experiences. So you're like, damn, I am fucking powerful. Like, what am I, a wizard? Like, yes, you are. Like, come on. We want you to be in touch with your magic. We want you to be in right relationship with your magic. You're like, wow, whatever I dream, I can realize, I can make manifest. If I have received this vision, if I've received this dream, it's not because the universe is like, huh, cute, like we just want to fuck with you. It's because you're actually capable of fulfilling it. But in order to fulfill on it, you've got to step into you 2.0. Like OG self might receive the download, but OG self is not going to fulfill the download, or else OG self would have already fulfilled the download. So sometimes we need to receive it from that position, and then 2.0 gets to come online. And 2.0 is the one that's going to take the big, bold action. It's going to do the shedding, is going to stay consistent and show up day after day and like allow that support in, but also be that support to other people. Because that's a part of the magic too. Like being in community where people see you and see what's like possible for you and see your capabilities means you're also equipped to see that in other people. And then in order to like really amplify it, the more you champion other people in their expansion, the more you expand your capacity to expand. You know, this is something that I learned really early on in my career. I was in a community, and I mean, I'm still in that community. We're all friends. And my friend Jeremy had made his first million by the time he was 26. And he's an online marketer. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, and this was like back in 2009. Like I had no fucking idea. But he was in this world of possibility that I hadn't tapped into yet. And I'm like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And he was like, if I can do it, you can do it. And so it started to code in this belief that that is totally possible for me. And that it was totally possible for our whole community. And then we all started moving in that energy vortex. And I don't know how this happened, but we got on national television together. We built a business and got on national TV. So like all things become possible when you're moving in alignment with your congruent, authentic self, and you're in community with people who see you, champion you, cheer you, amplify you, and then you're also playing that game of cheering and championing everybody else. And this is why we're so obsessed with the club, because like every time we come onto calls or anytime we're in the group space, like it's just this nonstop cheering and championing each other. Whether like someone's in the fucking pits or they just had the biggest breakthrough of their life, they're getting cheered. They're getting supported. Like they're getting seen inside of that. They're being held inside of that. And that changes the game. Like once you know that you're capable and you're like, oh shit, like I at least have these amazing women who have my back. Like I'm capable of anything because I know I've got them and they've got me. And then all of a sudden we're seeing like these really cool ripples going out into the consciousness. And you do that enough times with enough women, there is going to be some sort of tipping point transformation on the planet as a whole. You might see it in your family system. You might see it in your community. You might see it in your country. Like you might see it in the fucking forest. Who knows? Like, but you're going to start to see these shifts manifesting. And that's a result of you being in your power. You doing the thing that you were here to do, being the woman that you were put on this planet to be, and like really, really trusting yourself to keep creating yourself and your life alive. Most people are like alive, but like they're breathing, but like they're not living. And that's a really important distinction, I think, for the club. Like the women in the club are vitally alive. Like that's the thing that they're like, yeah, fuck, I feel that in every part of my body. Like that is what I want for myself, to be vitally alive. And that might change season to season, year to year, chapter to chapter. But if you've coded that in within a year, you can replicate that for the rest of your life. And like Christine said, when you get to being a granny and the littles are like, tell us your story. And you're like, well, okay, buckle up. It's a doozy. We got lots of twists and turns. We have lots of funny stories. We have lots of like rated R stories. Like there's so many unpredictable pieces that show up when you write your story alive, when you create yourself alive. You're not running on default. You're not running on your conditioning, but instead you're literally taking the reins back and you're like, nope, my life, my design. Like if this isn't working, I'm going to reconfigure it. I'm going to reimagine it. I'm going to go into a season of reinvention. Lucky for you, this is our specialty. Like the amount of Scorpio placements I have, death and rebirth, one of my favorite things. Like it's been portals that I walk through my entire life. So like there's nothing that you could bring that's too intense. And there's also nothing that you could bring that is like too out of range that we can vision and, amplify with you. Like all of it gets to belong. And that's why we see like the transformation that we're seeing inside of the club, because you don't have to hide parts of who you are. You get to show up as you are. All of it belongs. And then we work with the parts that need love and attention and integration. And then we feed and amplify and keep moving at this very vital, alive, heartbeat pace of creating your dreams and your vision into form. Like it's 10 out of 10. And like, what would happen? And you can think about this right now. Like, what would happen if for a year you went all in on you? All in on your power, all in on your money, all in on your relationships, all in on like the vital, sexy, like reception energy. Like what would happen? And these are questions that most people never ask themselves, which is why it never happens. You want a transformation in your life? Ask better questions. Most people ask themselves very disempowering questions. Why me? What's wrong with me? And like Christine said at the start, well, whatever you're asking, the universe is literal. So it's going to be like, okay, well, here you go. Here's why. Got to give you something, versus like asking a more empowered question. What would it take to transform this? What would it take to actually create it? What would my life look like if I went all in on myself? What would be possible? Like, what if I was courageous enough to speak my authentic truth in the world? What would happen then? Like, these are different questions. They're more elevated questions. And I'm curious, like, what do you think would happen if you went all in on you? If you feel brave, pop it in the chat. What would happen if you went all in on you, whether you're in the club or not? Like, what would happen? What would be possible for you? What do you want to have happen?
Tell us.
Yeah.
So you hear this a lot. People are like, I want change. I don't like the life I'm living. I want change. And then they do nothing. There's that whole, well, no, it's just that whole like saying like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. Like we can't play the game of like, I want my life to change, but then take no different action, right? It's like same action, same result. And so this is why people are like, nothing really changed. I'm like, well, no shit. Like, what did you do? Like, we have to, if we want change, we have to be willing to take different actions and, put some skin in the game. When I was doing like sales, we've got that Get Paid Mastermind coming up in May. And like, I remember a mentor saying like, well, when people pay, they pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is so true. And the more I've invested, the more it takes me more to actually pay attention. So we have skin in the game and we make an uncomfortable move. It has a show up. Think about like, I know Cecilia, Cecilia is one of my amazing trainers at Sweat. And like when people are paying $25, $30 a class, guess what? When they wake up in the morning, they don't feel like going to the gym, they're fucking going to the gym. Because they're accountable. They know that there's people waiting for them. The instructor knows who they are. It's a small, intimate community like the club. And you can't hide, right? And you've already paid. So you're like, well, fuck, I'm not going to, I value my money. I don't want to not show up. And so you fucking, the likelihood of you showing up, it's like when we invest, we're investing in the future us, right? It's like we're not allowing our old self. When we have no skin in the game, nobody to be accountable to, we just fall asleep at the wheel again. Joe Dispenza says by the age of 35, we are 95% unconscious beings, meaning our day-to-day is literally a set of programs and like automated things that we literally don't even choose. It's just like, and it's usually done by under the age of 7. So we're following like an operation manual from under the age of 7, which is mind-blowing, right? So it's like and I said this in the riff the other day in the visibility challenge, is that like if you came in and did just the money quarter, 3 months, and you just scrapped everything else, which is impossible, but if you just did that and you completely like revolutionized your relationship with money, think of the ROI on that for the rest of your life. Like, what? Like if you go in and you heal your nervous system around money and you're no longer afraid to look at your bank account and you're like completely falling in love with money again and your desires for money, like think of how that's going to impact, think of how long you'll be alive and think how many years that will impact you. How many more raises, what kind of revenue streams are you going to build? Like think of how that, I mean, it's just, it's mind boggling to me. I said to Kelsey, I'm like, we need to like double the price of the club. Cause like the shit that's in there and the things that are happening, like the ROI is stupid. Like it's crazy. Like even if we just did that one small thing, but it's not even about the one small thing because we don't want you just to be rich with shitty relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, or shitty, like not feeling good in your other life. It's not about that. We want a holistic woman who feels lit up and inspired and powerful in all areas, right? It's not just about the one thing. It's about becoming, we said that's lots. We're like, we don't want you to become the woman who just makes a lot of money. We want you to become the woman who takes the actions and asks the questions and says yes to opportunities that creates the money long-term. It's not about having a quick win. It's about the long-term longevity, right? Yeah. Holistic woman that's lit up 100%. Yeah. So let's see some of these. If I went on me, I think things would happen that my mind can't even conceive right now. So I can't even really articulate what would be possible. It's true, right? Our mind right now has a vision based on what we've accomplished. It's like predictably this is it. But there's like when we tap into potentiality and like the bigger picture, like that's when what we think is possible for us now will shift within the year. You might be like, I just want to make 10K a month or 5K a month. And all of a sudden by the end of it, you're like, I want to make 50 because you've done it. You keep doing it and then you want more and it becomes fun. I'm going all in on me. And I know 1 year from now, I'm going to be retired from the corporate and thriving as a business owner. I'll get to spend quality time with my 2 kids, live my best life as my authentic self, my full power range. Yes, we're so excited to have you join. I know you've already signed up for the club, which is awesome. A holistic woman that's lit up in all areas. Yeah. I'm not really sure what happened, but I know it would be other best investment I could make. 365 days to step the fuck up, to make new choices, to choose me.
Yes.
It is. It's so true. I know I'm such a weirdo, but it is. It's like, it's just, we're our best investment. There's no other thing. Like we say this, people are like, we've heard this before. I don't have the money. And then they're off like on vacations or doing things and I'm like, you do. It's just that you haven't found the value of like, you're not as invested in the transformation. It's not a bad thing. It's just that like when we want something, we are stupidly resourceful. I can move mountains when I want something, right? It's just understanding the value of it and understanding that like we create and manifest everything in our lives. So how on earth could anything else be a better investment? Because we literally manifest everything in our lives. So it's like, I don't know, just in my mind, I'm like, right. When I realized that, everything shifted. The visual of that is so beautiful. Yes. Yes. So as you know, the club doors are open. We're closing them this next week. Today's Sunday. Next week. Yeah. So we open and close the club doors every 3 months. So we're closing the doors next, I think it's Friday. We are the Get Paid Mastermind is part of your bonus. So if you get your application in by tonight at midnight, you are still eligible for that bonus. It's a $600 US value. We're doing a mastermind in May. I think it's the 3rd week of May. It's on a Saturday and it's going to be us going in, revenue streams, talking money, dissolving money blocks, visioning, like what do I want? What kind of money do I want to be making? Creating an action plan. There's going to be breakout rooms, masterminding with other people, sharing your vision, sharing your creations. Even if you're in a traditional job, we can figure out 1 million revenue streams for you, other ways to be making money. It's not just like a one size fits all. So it's all about getting paid. Like we want you getting well paid. We can mastermind packages, offerings, like all sorts of shit. It's like a day to come together where everything is about you making more money. So it's going to be really fun. We've never offered this before. We're super excited. Nervous system and trauma informed as well. So just taking into account, obviously, what you've been through, our relationships with money. You got a teaser in the visibility challenge. So that's your free bonus if you get your application in by tonight. Now, like I mentioned, application doesn't mean acceptance. It just means that Kelsey and I review them all. Then we hop on a Zoom call with you. And we want to talk to you about whether it's the right fit. This is also the art of feminine energy in business, is pacing and creating flirting, right? We used to have the doors fully open where you could just purchase the club, not fully open. We used to have it where you could purchase it and we sent you the link. Now there's like a slowing down where we want to actually just make sure there's an alignment there. Because Kelsey and I it is an intimate group and we want to keep it that way. And we want to keep the energy very clean about creation. And emotional intelligence and certain pieces like that. So if you are in this, like, I really want to design my life alive. I really want, you have the 5 live calls with Kelsey and I. You've got our calls, the coaching calls. We've got Kelsey's manifestation. So we help you figure out your North Star. What is the big vision for your year? But then every month there's a manifestation. The first Saturday of the month, there's a manifestation process where Kelsey's leading you through visioning, through breaking it down into smaller achievable things. So helping you design your month alive so that it's not just this big thing that feels overwhelming. And then the embodiment session, I obviously lead all my somatic block dissolving stuff for expansion. We have our workshop, we have our coaching, plus you get Panther, you get the sheds, you get everything we do basically included. Right? Everything new that we keep bringing in, you keep getting that included as well. So there's lots of touch points. There's the community space. There's other women. Like and we're creating this new thing where we're going to have more group member calls together. So we're going to put you into groups and having more accountability in that way. So really fun. As you can tell, we're very playful. This is not serious. This is not like we're not
boring. No,
everything's very fun. You get Panther, which is our daily podcast. You get mini courses in there, and we're adding a community call to Panther as well every month. So there's so many touch points at different times as well. So Yeah, we're excited. I know some of you have had a lot of application starts, so we want to see people start crossing the finish line and finishing the applications. Um, and yeah, we're super excited. We will be raising the rate as well the end of next week. So right before it closes, it'll be raising, I think it's 4,444 for the year right now. Or 444 a month, and it'll be raised to 5,555 or 555 a month. So every time we do it, we've been increasing by about $1,000 every time we open the club doors, just because Kelsey and I are adding new things, and we're really understanding the value. We're seeing the women's transformations in the club, and so we also realize this is a 12-month thing. A lot of people are charging that rate for like 2-month courses. So we're like, well, in fact, we're giving a year. So plus you get the bonus of the mastermind, that alone will be crazy. Super, super fun. So if you're interested, Kelsey, do we have the type form? I think there's you can pop it in. But if you are interested and you want to design your life alive, you're feeling the pull, just, come apply, see if it's a good fit. You're not committing to anything by filling out the application, because we need to make sure it's a good fit as well. So Kelsey just dropped the link in there. If you want to go in, you can start it, and we can hop on a Zoom call with you and see if it's a good fit. We've welcomed some women in. We're really excited. The caliber of women coming in is incredible. Super aligned, have big visions for their life and for their bank accounts and for their love lives and all the things. So we're really excited.
Lives and where we're going. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed.
Yeah, we've got power, and then we're heading into the sex quarter, and then money. So even as I say that, I'm like, so sexy. We're doing more challenges. We'll be doing more challenges, which you'll have included as well. So it's just a lot of, it's like we want to over deliver, and then you take what feels good and you can show up for what feels good for you. And some varying call times in there as well, which is great, and some consistent call times. And we kick off our power quarter next Monday. So we're in a new
Saturday, because we do the visioning on the Saturday.
Oh, right. Sorry, Saturday. Yeah. So we're closing the doors. To be eligible for the get paid bonus, you have to have your application in by midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. After that, we have another call. I think it's Thursday, but the bonus will be gone. And we obviously have the visibility challenge still we're doing, which is, for the end of the week. But the club doors will close on, is it Thursday night? Friday morning. Yeah, it's just you want to get on that bonus. If you're like a creative, an entrepreneur, or somebody, or like you want to build and design and make more money and have different revenue streams, different pathways to pay you, that's a really highly recommend getting on that. It'll be like a 4 to 4 hour or something mastermind throughout the day.
And even if you're a creative and you're an artist and you want more from your life, like that is a huge thread that we're going to be weaving in that weekend. Well, I guess it's a day-long event. So it's not just if you have a business or you want to have a business or you have a career. Like it's about like holistic experiences of moreness and like bringing in more. So like getting paid, yes, money 100%, but getting paid is like this bigger conversation. And like the deposits of love, the deposits of creativity, like all of these things play into why we get paid in the first place, and the intentionality and like the connection to your unique gift that becomes undeniable to you. You're like, oh yeah, that's the fucking thing. And yeah, absolutely, I should be getting paid for that. So we're going to be playing with all of those threads as well. Steph, what I said before feels a little crunchy. Okay. So I want to correct it and state proudly that I am all in on me. We knew that. And going 100% in on myself will look differently today from how it will look a month or a year from now. That is absolutely so true. I love it. And like, this is one of the beautiful things about the women in the club is that level of self-leadership that shows up. Like, we didn't have to go in and be like, oh, you need to do that again. Like, it's just an inner knowing of like, oh, maybe I could answer that in a slightly different way that feels a little bit more congruent, a little bit more authentic. And then there's always space for that reinvention to happen. Like, the club is literally about reinvention. Like, you can't go from OG self to you 2.0 without a reinvention. And so like, it's these little micro shifts, these little micro like reinventions of like, oh, actually what I said there didn't totally feel right. So like, let me redo. And once you have that practice, that skill locked in, you get to take that skill into every single area of life. Imagine you go into your relationships and you're like, you know what? The way that I said that wasn't the vibe. I'd like a redo. You'll be able to do that. Or you go into business, like, oh, actually, like that agreement that we made, that actually doesn't feel congruent anymore. So here's my new proposition. Or you go into like your relationship with your kids and you're like, you know what? That was kind of an asshat. Let me give that another go. Like, and so you're able to like practice this skill in every single way, shape, and form. And whatever you learn in one quarter is applicable to all the other quarters, but also all areas of your life, which is so powerful. Steph, thank you for illustrating that. Really well done.
I still remember stuff when she came in on, I think on our last lunch, and I remember like I zoned in on you. I'm like, you're gonna raise your hand. I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. You're like, eh. And you were like, I don't know, and you were like so nervous about joining. I remember that. You're like, I don't know, and then like just what's happened in already such a short period of time is just like mind blowing. I have so many women in the club. I mean, we're seeing this. We talk about you guys all the time. We're just like, they're the best. Oh my God, did you see her? You see the way she did that? Oh my God. Like, we're so excited because we see people's faces change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we call it reverse aging in the club. I'm telling you, it's wild. We just see this like reverse aging and more playful and more alive and more fun and taking more risks and being bold and making declarations and like, like making big leaps and bold, because your nervous system knows when you know you're in something. We talk about this a lot. I'm doing this, teaching my method right now. And I said to the woman, I'm like, when you're holding a container for somebody, it's not just about like time for money. It's like the energetic container. Your nervous system can exhale and it can relax because it knows it has support for a length of time. So it's like, it's a very unconscious thing that happens, but there's this like holding. Like, it's not just a program or a course where like, it's a container, it's an experience, it's you're in it and you have safety and support. So your nervous system feels safe. And when you feel safe and regulated, you take different actions. You feel a lot more inspired. You do way different things. When you don't know you have it, your system's like, well, I don't know, am I going to do this? And then it will scan around the people around you. What do they think? Are they into my dreams? Do they think it's possible? And if you don't have that, your system's like, this is a bad time to make a move. And all this happens behind the scenes without you knowing. So like when you have somebody to support you, you can take way bigger risks and make way more bold moves. And those create different outcomes, different manifestations, right? So it's just, there's the subtle art of what's happening in the nervous system from an energetic level when you do have support. Which is, again, why we said this has got to be your commitment, because we didn't want dabblers. We don't want people coming in and out. We want it to be something where it's like we're in this and we're all in the frequency of reinvention, expansion, creation. So, so grateful for the club. We love you, Alyssa. We also, just the caliber of women is incredible. So we love having you, Alyssa. Oh, all right. Love you guys.
Love you. Thank you for being here today. Go rock your challenge today. I know that we gave you a big one today, and we know that you're totally capable of fulfilling on it. And we're so excited to see you cross the finish line of the challenge as well. Like, that's a big thing. And I mean, I did say that in our session today, but like, it's a really big deal to like commit to something for 30 days and then cross that finish line. And we're just so proud of each and every one of you. And we're excited to see you cross that finish line. And if it feels true and expansive to come into the club, we would love to see your application come through today. And then we'll hop on a call sometime with you this week. We love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And we will see you all very soon. Bye. All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating. And we'll see you next week.
Share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.